Over there is my 10-year-old son Rocco, and for some reason this clip didn't record sound, but luckily it's the only one, and Goat Nation is getting ready to face off in a championship game against Terra Red here. So we're getting ready to get started here in just a few minutes. Thank you for tuning in. Here we go. All right, we're getting ready to get started. Nixon to lead off for Goat Nation here against Terra Red in a championship game. This is our third game of the day. So let's see what we can do here. This should be an exciting one. Getting started here with the first pitch. Outside, ball one. Nixon stepping in, the 2-0. Swung on, hit, up the middle, and that's going to get over the head of the second baseman who had his glove outstretched. And Nixon leads us off with a single, attaboy. Zay stepping in now, first pitch to him. Swung on, hit well, and right field's going back and is able to make the catch. Going back to first is Nixon, and he's going to be safe there. Nice play there from right field. Good hit, Zay. Almost over his head, but that's one out. Here's the first pitch to Ryan. In there, strike one. Here's the 0-1. That one's up. Nixon going two, and he's going to be in there safely. Attaboy. Good job. 2-1. Swung on, chopped on the ground towards shortstop, who fields it. Throws over to first and gets out number 2 of the inning. Does move Nixon up to third base. Here we go. Brody steps in. Coach Gill in my way this time. First pitch to him. Swung on, hit off the end of the bat towards third, who fields it. Throws it over to first and completes the out. So Goat Nation fails to score in the top of the first. Score tied 0-0. Here we go. Okay. Declan on the bump. Rocco behind the dish here for this championship game. First pitch. Swung on, hit well. Nope, hit grounder to shortstop. Picked up. Thrown to first for out number 1. Good job. That's efficiency. 1 pitch, 1 out. Let's go. Here's the first pitch. New batter. Shows bunt. And he is going to be safe there at first base. Nice bunt. Beautiful bunt. Showed it late. We were late to react, and he's going to bunt for a base hit. All right, runner on first now with 1 out. First pitch. Ball 1. Here's the 1-0. Runner goes. Rocco throws. And it's going to get into center field as it bounced there by, I think, Hudson covering. That young man takes second base. Here we go. 1-0. Swung on, hit well. Nate underneath it is going to make the catch there in left field. Good job. That is 2 outs. Here we go. All right. Runner on second now. 2 outs. First pitch. Runner goes. Rocco stops it, but it gets away, and he takes third base there. Here's the 1-0. Popped up. And caught there at first base by Isaiah. That is the 3rd out. They get out of it, put up a 0. Score locked at 0 after 1. Let's go. All right, Hudson stepping in to lead off the second for Goat Nation. First pitch. Swung on, hit well. Center fielder, it's going to get over his head. So that's a long single from Hudson. Attaboy. Way to go. Weston, I believe, stepping in now. First pitch to him is called. Strike 1. Here's the 1-0-1, I'm sorry. Hit on the ground, second baseman fields it, throws 2, and the ball gets away. And Hudson starts to go 3, but thinks better of it, gets back to 2. So we're going to have first and second with no outs. Here we go. My 10-year-old son Rocco steps in, first and second with no outs. First pitch to him, called strike 1. Coach Gill in the way, 0-1, swung on, and that's going to be fouled down the third baseline as he is a little early on it, rolls it over. Here's the 0-2 to Rocco. Swung on and hit and caught by the shortstop, and they are going to double him up there at second base. Yikes. So that one off the end of the bat ends in a double play. Here we go. Nate steps in. First pitch to him is down and away, ball 1. Here's the 1-0. Inside ball, going 2, and he's going to be safe there at second base as the ball bounces in. 3-1 to Nate. Swung on, hit in the air to the right side, and that gets down but foul. Here's the 3-2 to Nate. Called strike 3. Nate don't like it, but that is 3 outs. Still locked at 0. Here we go. Okay, bottom 2 here. First pitch. Up high, ball 1. 3-1. up high, ball 4. So that young man works a walk to lead off the inning for Terra. Here we go. New batter, first pitch. He gets a big jump. No chance at second base. Here we go. Here's the 1-0. Swung on, hit on the ground. To second base, throws one. They get the out there. It moves the runner to third base with one out. Here we go. Okay, runner on third now. New batter, first pitch. Down low, ball 1. 1-2.
Swung on and missed. Rocco stops it, picks it up, throws to first. The runner's coming home. He catches it, goes for the tag. Runner misses the plate, and Rocco's able to get up and tag him.
He's going to be out. I'm sorry. He missed the plate. We got the... Wow, I don't know how much of that I got. That was terrible camera work. And the score remains 0-0. Let's go, Goat Nation. Okay, Liam steps in to lead off the top of the third inning for Goat Nation. First pitch. Called, strike 1, outside corner. Here's the 1-2. Swung on and missed. Strike 3. Liam goes down on strikes. That's 1 out. Danny steps in. First pitch to him is fouled back. Strike 1. Here's the 1-2. Curveball called. Strike 3. Gets Danny looking. That's 2 outs. Declan steps in, trying to help himself out with 2 outs here. Nobody on. Shows bunt. And gets it down right to the pitcher, who picks it up, throws one. And they're going to go 1-2-3, put up another 0. So after 2.5, score tied at 0. Okay, Declan's still on the bump. Bottom of the third inning, score tied at 0. First pitch, swung on and hit foul. 3-1 pitch, down low, ball 4. So the leadoff batter works a walk here in the third for Terra. Here we go. Here's the first pitch, up high, ball 1. Here's the 1-0. Runner goes, Rocco throws, and it's going to be late there to second base. Hudson reaches between his legs to try to tag. They take second base there. Here we go. 3-0 in the dirt. Runner goes as it gets by Rocco. He's going to get to third base. We're going to have first and third with no outs. Here we go. What are we doing? We throw 2 as he makes the break for 2. And it's mishandled, and he goes home. So Terra strikes first, up 1-0 here in the bottom of the third. First pitch, runner goes, Rocco throws, and he's going to have the bag there safely. Here we go. Got to keep those runners closer. Here's the 1-0. Off his helmet, and he's going to get first base. So Declan's struggling with command here in the third. All right, runners on first and third now. First pitch to this batter is not called. Looked like it was right there, but no call. 2-2 again. Swung on, hit well, but it gets by the left fielder as he dives in. That's going to score 1-2. Runners rounding second, going third, and they're going to actually hold him to 2 there. Good attempt, but dangerous one as that ball gets by. Score is 3-0 now, Terra. First pitch, down in the dirt, ball. 2-1, runner goes, and he is going to be safe there at third base. And they're going to hold him. Big jump there, really no chance to get him. They should have been telling Rocco to eat that. Luckily, it didn't get far enough away. Here's the pitch, up high, ball 4. And that is going to be another walk. Having trouble getting outs here this inning. New batter, first pitch. Up high, ball 1. Here's the 1-0. Runner goes 2. They're going to let him have it. Strike 1. 1-1. Swung on, hit in the air high. Called by shortstop and made the catch. That is 1 out. Here we go. Here's the first pitch. Ball 1. 1-2 again. Curveball hit well. Into right field and caught, and everybody holds up. Wow, they could have tagged on that, but I don't know if they were in position to. That's 2 outs. Here we go. New batter, first pitch, swung on and fouled back. Strike 1. 2-2. Swung on, hit on the ground, fielded by Hudson, thrown over to first base for out number 3. They finally get out of it. Some damage was done. We got to get some runs here. All All right, Nixon, top of the lineup, sets in to lead off for Goat Nation, and he hits one decently well, but it is going to fall in the gap. I thought the center fielder was under it. He was not. That is a leadoff single for Nixon. Let's go. We're down 3. Let's get him right now. All right, Zay steps in with Nixon on first base, no outs. First pitch, swung on, hit well, and that's going to get down into the outfield, and it is cut off by the center fielder, so he's going to get held to a single there. Nice hit, though. Here we go. We got something going. Ryan steps in, first pitch. Called, strike 1. He didn't like it. Here's the 0-1. Swung on and hit well again. That one's going to get down in front of the left fielder. So that's back-to-back base hit singles into the outfield. Or back-to-back-to-back, I'm sorry. We got bases juiced with no outs. Here we go. All right. Brody stepping in now. Bases juiced with no outs here in the top of the 4th. First pitch is called, strike 1. 1-2. And he pokes that one, and it's going to get through into the... Oh, and it gets by the outfielder. So that's going to score 2. He's still running for it. Ryan gets to third base. Brody gets to second base. And that is 2 of the 3 that we need to tie it up. Still no outs. Runners at second and third. Here we go. All right, Hudson steps in now. Runners at second and third. They bring the infield in. And he sees strike 1, I think. Or he called outside, I'm not sure. Here's the 0-1. Swung on, hit high into the air. Underneath it is first base, and he does make the catch. That is 1 out. Weston sees ball 1 on the first pitch. Here's the 2-0. Swung on, hit hard on the ground. They field it, and they're going to throw home. And Ryan's going to run into an out there. So we're going to have first and third with 2 outs. Okay, my 10-year-old son Rocco steps in with the tying run on third base. First and third here with 2 outs. First pitch. Called, strike 1. They do take second base. They're going home. Oh, no. He's caught up in a rundown. Throw to third, throw back home. And they're going to get him there. So the throw to second, back to home play. Catches him up. And we leave the tying run on third base as he gets cut down in the rundown. Scores 3-2. Okay, here we are, bottom 4. Terra up 3-2 here. Declan's still on the bump. And the first pitch, swung on, hit to third base, backhanded. Thrown over to first for out number 1. Good job. 1 down. Oh my goodness. I could not get my camera to record. It was like frozen. We got a pop up to shortstop for out number 2. Nice catch there, Nixon. Here we go. All right, 2 outs now. Sorry I missed that last one. A little technical difficulty with the camera. First pitch, down in the dirt, ball 1. 2-2 again. Curveball, swung on and missed. Strike 3. Declan gets out of it. Goat Nation down by 1 going into the 5th inning. Let's go. All right, my 10-year-old son Rocco steps in to lead off the top of the 5th inning. First pitch, up high, ball 1. 2-2. And he ties him up there, up high, and goes down swinging. All right, Nate steps in now. First pitch is down and away, ball 1. Here's the 1-0. Swung on, hit well to the shortstop, who lets it underneath his glove. And Nate's going to be on first base. Here we go. All right, Liam steps in here. First pitch to him is low and away. Going 2. And he's safe there. Good job, Nate. Close one. 1-1. Swung on, jammed. Going for it is first base, and he does make the catch. That is 2 outs. Okay, Danny steps in now. Nate's still at second base with 2 outs now. First pitch to Danny. Inside, ball 1. 2 strikes, hit way up in the air. And he makes the catch there, diving into foul territory. And they maintain their 3-2 lead going into the bottom of the 5th. Here we go. All right, bottom 5. Declan's still on the bump. First pitch, swing and a miss, strike 1. 3-2. Down in the dirt, ball 4, works a walk. First pitch, swung on, hit on the ground to first base, and they are going to get the out there. That's 1 out. Runner goes to second. Here we go. Here's the pitch. Hit up in the air, but out of play, foul. 1-2 pitch. Down in the dirt, runner goes, and he's going to be safe there at third base. Runner at third now. 2-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. That's 2 outs. Good job, Declan. Here we go. All right, 2 down, runner on third. Declan trying to get this out, give us a chance to tie it up or take the lead with 1 run in the top of the 6th. And we throw a ball over to third, but he is going to be safe there. Counts 0-1, I believe.
I wanted to take a second and point out that this probably should have been interference on the batter as he walked right in front of the throw. That's why it was in the dirt there.
3-1. Down in the dirt, ball 4. It gets by. Runner holds at third, though. Here we go. My goodness. I thought I was still recording. I somehow stopped. They tried to draw a throw to second. They did. And then they threw it back home and got the runner trying to go home. Darn it. I missed that play. I didn't know that I accidentally stopped recording there. So they go into the top of the 6th, down 1 run. Still with life here. Only need 1 to tie, 2 to take the lead. Let's go, Goat Nation. Here we go. All right, Declan stepping in to lead off the inning. Sees ball 1 on the first pitch. 3-2 pitch to Declan. Swung on, hit, and that's going to fall in front of the third baseman who drops it, and Declan's going to beat it out. So that is the tying run on first base with no outs. Let's go, Goat Nation. All right, Nixon steps in now with Declan on first base. No outs. That is low and away on the first pitch. 2-2 pitch. Declan goes. It's in the dirt. Declan is going to be there at second base safely. Attaboy. Tying run there at second base. 2-2. Swung on, hit well, and that's going to get down into the outfield. It is kicked. Declan is going home. And the play there. And he's safe. That is tied up now at 3. Nice hit, Nixon. Way to go. That's a big spot. Attaboy. All right, Zay steps in now with Nixon at first base. Still no outs. First pitch. Up and in, ball 1. Nixon holds at first. They do try to backpick him, but he is safe. Sorry about that. Isaiah steps in here. 1-0 is down in the dirt. Nixon going 2, and he's going to be there safely. That is the go-ahead run in scoring position. Here's the 3-1, and that is a balk. So pitcher starts and then stops, and they balk him over to third, but there's a lot of yelling and controversy. I'm not sure exactly why they're mad. Here we go. So apparently Zay stepped out. That's why the pitcher stopped. That's an interesting rule because there's some nuance there. Here's the 3-1, and that is hit through the infield, and Zay's got himself a base hit. We are going to take the go-ahead run across the plate. 4-3 now, Goat Nation. Zay on first with no outs. Here we go. Here's the first pitch to Ryan, down in the dirt. Blocked well by the catcher, or stopped well. Zay delay steals, and he's going to go. Oh, I guess the ball did get by. I didn't see it. Good job, Zay, on second base. Here's the 1-0 to Ryan. Swung on, hit well. And that's going to get by into center field. Zay is going to score. Ryan going 2. And he's going to hold up there at second base as the ball comes in front of him. Attaboy, Ryan, nice hit. And we take a 2-run lead here in the top of the 6th. Here's the pitch to Brody. Down and away, ball 1. 2-1. Swung on, hit on the ground to third base. And Ryan runs into it for the first out of the inning. That's 1 down. All right, Hudson steps in. First pitch is high. Brody goes 2, and the ball hits him. He's going to be safe there. Here we go. 1-2. Curveball gets him. Strike 3. That is 2 outs. All right, Weston steps in with 2 outs. Brody on second base. First pitch is inside. Brody starts to go, and he's going to get back as they throw into second base there. Weston hits that one, and I think it's going to find grass. No, the shortstop is going to range and get it. And that is 3 outs, but Goat Nation gives himself life, goes up 2 runs in the top of the 6th. 3 outs will win a championship. Let's go. Okay, bottom of the 6th. It all comes down to this. Danny pitching. Misses on the first one, ball 1. 1-1 pitch. Swung on, hit well. And that's going to get down into the outfield. Zay is going to get there, but they've got their leadoff batter aboard here. Here we go. Okay, runner at first. Tying run at the plate with no outs here. First pitch. He lays down a bunt, but it goes foul. 0-2 pitch. And he gets it to him off the end of the bat. Fielded at third, thrown over to first. And they're going to get him at first. They throw 3, and he's going to be in there safely. That run doesn't really mean anything. They need another one. So let's just get 2 more outs. Here we go, boys. New batter. First pitch from Danny. Swung on, hit on the ground, and that's going to get through. And they are going to cut the lead to 1 here. And the tying run is on first base. Here we go. All right, tying run on first with 1 out here. First pitch from Danny. Runner goes. And the throw gets by, but it is backed up well. So he's going to be at second base. Tying run in scoring position with 1 out. Here's the pitch. Down in the dirt. That gets by the catcher. And tying run is going to scoot over to third base. Here we go. All right, so they intentionally walked the go-ahead run. And then on the first pitch, he took second base as my camera was doing that thing again. That is ball 2. Here's the 2-0. Swung on, hit. And that's going to get by left field. And that is going to walk it off. That runner at second is going to score here in the bottom of the 9th. And Terra is going to walk it off here. And that is going to be the game. Hey, you know what? Sometimes you're the winner, sometimes you're the loser. Keep your heads up, boys. You guys played a great tournament. You played a great game. 1 play made the difference. That's how it goes sometimes. Thank you all so much for watching. Please like, subscribe. Don't forget to comment and share our videos. We love reading your comments. We love answering them. Show these boys some love for just a hard-fought tournament. Thanks for being here, and we'll see you guys next time. Peace.